Thank you for joining me on this morning's class on balance and stability. If we haven't met, my name is Helena, and I'm here to guide you through today's practice. And let's get started lying on the back. So it's this nice way to sort of realign the spine. You can find a comfortable position with the legs. Maybe they're stretched out straight, or maybe you're bending your knees and letting the knees rest in towards one another. Maybe a slight tuck of the chin so you feel some length come in through the back of the neck, a loop of the shoulders down. The heart opens a bit more. And then settle into your space, settle into your mat. Close your eyes when you feel ready. And take a deep breath in. An open mouth, full breath out. Going again, deep breath in. And then release any tension you've carried onto your mat with you. Breathe out. You know, at any point in your practice, if that audible exhale serves you, then please feel free to take it. As we arrive on our mat with the intention to focus on balance and stability, I know that these types of classes, it can be really hard when you feel like you can't quite find your balance in the feet. You know, simply just standing on one of your own legs is difficult. And we all have those days where our balance is even just a little more off, or off on one side more than the other. So it can kind of feel frustrating. I kind of feel like we are also in this sort of agitating time, where sometimes it might not feel like we can even stand on one foot. That's okay. Maybe let both feet plant down. Feel yourself balanced through both sides until you feel ready to explore maybe lifting one up. Also important, just to acknowledge whatever small wins you might have in your class today. And this is something I'm taking day to day as I connect with people. I'm trying to just acknowledge the small wins. Yesterday I went on my first walk in weeks. Out of my house, I went for a walk. And who did I run into on my walk? I saw Carol. And we kept a good 10 feet apart from one another. But just to run into someone was like the biggest win of my day. So acknowledge right now just some of your small wins, where normally just bumping into someone would be like an everyday thing, but today it's sometimes enough to carry you through. Acknowledging some small wins on your mat. Even if you get that moment of feeling really stable, know that moment from the core, from your core out to the surface of your skin, to be like, I was stable right there. I was balanced. Even if both feet are planted, I'm balanced, I'm stable. Making it onto your mat this morning is a win for sure. You could have chosen to sleep in, you could have chosen to put the TV on. But you've arrived here. Thank yourself sincerely. So before we move in our practice today, start to deepen your breath. Lengthen out your inhales and deepen your exhales. Find a pace or a rhythm to your breath where there it starts to feel balanced. Maybe a 4 or 5 counted inhale breath to a 4 or 5 counted exhale breath. Maybe this balanced rhythm starts to create a sense of stability in the body. the high point. Notice the low point. Take 3 more cycles of breath. Even if you catch just those glimpses of feeling centered or quiet through the mind's eye, take that as a win. And know that just like this breath, it will come and go throughout the practice, but balance is something we're always bringing ourselves back to. Last deep breath in. Full breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You open the eyes. And slowly draw your knees into your chest. Massage the back of your body, rock side to side. Now each day that you arrive on your mat, the sensations of the body will feel a little bit different. Just be curious about this. Maybe a posture you did yesterday won't feel the same today. And hands to the backs of your thighs, kick your heels up towards the sky. And then you'll use your hands to massage the legs, so sort of grabbing at the shins and pulling the hands down, maybe kneading a little bit through the calves, just giving your legs a little squeeze, maybe the ankles. And then start to work the feet, point and flex your toes. Get out any loose cracks. Roll the ankles out. Really try to spread the toes. Imagine your toes moving right now, sort of like the bristles of a paintbrush. Just fanning them out. And our toes are really strong. They hold us every day. Let's give them a moment to move playfully and wake them up. Draw your knees back and towards your chest. And open the hips, take your knees wide. Hands moving to the inside of your knees. Maybe reach for the shins or ankles to draw your knees down. Happy baby pose. Rock yourself lightly side to side. Knees come back in towards your chest. And whatever way serves you to come into tabletops, you might roll onto the right side and press up. If you'd like to rock and roll, massaging the length of the spine, swinging your legs back, swinging your legs forward. Give yourself another moment to come onto hands and knees. Find some space between your fingers, your pointer fingers forward. Shoulders stacking on top of the wrists and knees right under your hips. Now firm up the hands, press them down into the earth. So maybe you feel the space between your shoulder blades broaden and a little bit of engagement through your core. On an inhale, send your right leg back behind you. Try to keep your toes facing down, flex your toes. If you feel stable and steady, start to inch your left fingertips forward. You have the option to reach the left hand high. Pinky finger rolls down towards the earth, thumb up towards the sky. Reach your fingers away from your toes. Get a little longer. Breathe in. And then lower your hand, lower your right knee, breathe out. Take a moment to set up for the opposite side. Grip with the fingertips, hug in through the abdomen. Send your left leg back. Option to reach right fingertips forward. If you're reaching out to shake someone's hand, pinky down, thumb up, but right now you wouldn't actually shake their hand. Reach, 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 fingers away from toes. And then lower your hand, release your knee, take the knees a little bit wider. And sit your hips back for child's pose. What sensation do you feel through the midsection of the body from the shoulders to the hips? And notice how those tabletop bird dogs require strength through the legs and the glutes to lift. Even it's strength from the shoulder girdle to reach the arms. So the core is actually everything. Front body, back body, the pelvic bowl. So try to pay attention to that whole body sensation as we do this one more time. Come back into your table. Press down through the hands. Inhale to reach your right leg back. Activate the leg as if you were standing into the right foot. Press it. Left hand goes forward. If you'd like to bring a little more engagement into this, you'll gently pulse the arm and pulse the leg. So lift and lower them both an inch. And again, notice the engagement as the arm and leg lifts and lowers for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the hand, release the knee, opposite side, left leg extends back, breathe in. Right arm reaches forward. Engage the hand, engage your foot. And you have the option to pulse here, lift and lower. And even as you lift the arm, you're squeezing the back body, engaging the back body, hugging into the front body. Last inhale. Release your hand, release your knee. Step the hands forward about a foot and carefully come down onto your belly. Pause once you get there to slide your thumbs back and slide your toes back. Inhale to lift up your chest. Exhale to roll your chest back down. Press through the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift up your chest and heart. Exhale, release back down. Chest and heart come up halfway. The option to take your full upward dog if it feels available to you for practice right now. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. Notice what you notice. Take a deep breath. And each conscious breath on your mat this morning being a little win for yourself. Come into tabletop. Toes flip behind you. Let's move into downward facing dog. Hips go high. Where you're still offering a generous lift to your heels, a micro bend through your knees, and perhaps you feel like moving in your down dog today, swaying your hips or pedaling out your feet. Come high onto your toes, look forward at your thumbs, and then step, walk, or hop yourself to the top of your space. Halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Flatten your back like a tabletop. Exhale to bow forward, release your head, and then just hold your fold here. Hang out for a few breaths, bend your knees a lot. Rock side to side, shake your head out, yes or no. Press down firmly into your feet. On an inhale, rise to stand. Sweep the arms up, get tall. Exhale, shake your arms out, let them go. Then take a gaze down at your toes. Be sure that your second and third toe face forward. And the feet are under your hips, so they line up. If you know you lock your knees out, there's a little micro bend. Open your chest. Tadasana, mountain pose. Try to lengthen the crown of your head up as you root your legs down. So you're moving in two directions. Lengthening up, rooting down. Breathe in, arms sweep high. Breathe out, bow forward. Flat back, lifted chest. Bend your knees, ground your palms. Let's move into plank position, where again we'll engage the core. So even if your knees are dropped down, shoulders stacked on top of the wrists. We take the pelvis, the hips, and just lift them up an inch. Notice what happens. A little more stable through the pelvis. Drawing in, look forward, come onto your belly. Point your toes, lift your chest up. Again, your back bend variation of cobra or upward dog, as long as the neck is neutral. Hips move back in space, flip your toes, downward facing dog. And same foundation with your feet here, second and third toe forward, feet at a hip's distance. Next breath in, send your right leg high behind you. Gaze forward towards your thumb, right knee to chest, squeeze it in, and then flicker step your foot through. Shorten your stance for your left heel to go down. And then lift your torso up nice and slow. Warrior one. Your squares to the top edge of your mat, and the right knee's on top of the ankle. Arms reaching, you can lengthen and lift through your side body. Lift and spread your right toes. Feel how the inner arch of the right foot lifts up. Keep that engagement and the stability through your ankle. And then lower your right toes back down. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lean forward so the right leg takes some more weight. Step into the right foot, just the tips of your left toes touch down. Both hip bones, those prominent hip bones at the front of your body, face forward. And then if it's available to you, the right standing leg is strong. Start to hinge forward as you lift your back leg up. Again, whatever your balance looks like today, your toes can even stay down. Wherever you are, your right leg is working for you. And it doesn't matter how deep you're going, eventually working in your warrior three to become more parallel to the earth. Reach out through the arms if you'd like. One more breath. In and out. Imagine even just doing like your tabletop here, that reaching forward, reaching back. And then take the left foot, step up beside the right, come to stand at the top of your mat. Give everything a shake off. Maybe roll out your ankles, pedal out your feet. Stack your spine in Tadasana. Mountain pose, chest open. Cleanse the breath. Inhale. Open mouth. Sweep the arms up, lift your gaze. Big dive forward, let it go. Hands onto your shins, flatten the back, lift your heart up. Bend your knees, ground your palms, find your plank position. Your hands press firmly into the earth. And your pace, not mine, lower with control, elbows hugging into your side body. Pointed toes, lifting your heart, cobra or upward dog. Press through hands and feet. Push yourself back in space. Downward facing dog. Hips going high. Empty your exhale there. Make space for the next breath in. Float your left leg high behind you. Left knee to chest. Look forward. Swing or step it through. Grab it, pull it. Right heel grounds down. Try to find some steadiness through the back foot. Press through your back foot to help lift your torso up. Never hurts to look in with your base and check that you've got your foundation. Arms can extend high. Play around with the engagement in the left foot. Lift and spread the toes. Watch how as you lift up through the inner arch of the foot, it helps support the inner edge of the ankle. That even helps the inner edge of the knee. Lower the toes back down. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lean into your left leg and just feel the engagement as that starts. Then when you feel ready through it, step into it, just the tips of your right toes touch down. I like to imagine if they were like hooks in the armpits, hooking and lifting you up a little taller. Try not to extend through the front ribs, hug them in, hinge forward. Just like when we were in tabletop, the right toes reach back, the crown of the head reaches forward. Even like in Tadasana, we're trying to move in two directions. Play around with the expression in your arms. It's not about how deep you go. Going deeper just makes it harder. And what you're looking to find is a sense of stability and the variation of the position you've chosen. Last breath. Right foot steps beside the left. Give everything a shake off. Recreate your mountain pose. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Holding yourself upright. Even with the even weight through both feet, take that as a win. Maybe you can bring a small smile to the corners of your lips. You're reminded that you've arrived on your mat this morning. Arms reaching high. Big dive forward, let it go. Flat back, lifted heart. Bring weight into your toes, helping to engage the legs. Bow back forward, plant your palms, step back to plank. If you'd like to skip the vinyasa, you can always go right back to downward dog or even child's pose. Or flow yourself through high to low. Especially if the body needs an extra moment to replenish the breath. Let yourself soften onto the knees. Take 2 or 3 cycles. And then we'll meet in downward dog. Inhale the right leg high. You can come high onto your left toes. Right knee to chest, hug in, step your foot through, grab it, pull it there. Left heel goes down, float the arms up, warrior 1. Hands onto your hips. Lean into the right leg. Step up into the right leg. Hinge forward to your warrior 3. And then lift yourself back up. Hinge forward. Come back upright. Do this maybe 2 or 3 more times. Can be a little or a big movement, slow and controlled. Watch the right leg working for you. The next time you hinge forward, reach the left toes to the back of your mat. Return to your warrior 1. Bend the knee. Plant your back heel, float your arms, breathe in. Then we'll straighten out the right leg. Open up your back toes. Reach your arms out in line with the earth. So right leg is straight. Sweep your arms overhead. Imagine there was like a beach ball in between your hands. You have to hold it. There's a little bit of tension. Then try to reach that beach ball past your right leg. Stay really long through the side bodies, really long through the fingertips. We're containing in through the core through both sides. Lift yourself back up, breathe in. Hinge forward one more time, breathe out. Triangle, right hand plants to the shin, left arm extends towards the sky, look up. Still hear the sound of your breath. Lift your torso and bend your front knee, warrior two. Let's find that beach ball again overhead, a little tension between the palms. You're going to take that beach ball and start to make big circles with it over your head. So maybe even the whole torso is getting involved, not just the arms. And then circle the opposite direction. Arms reach high, breathe in. Hands in line with the earth, breathe out. Beautiful. Take your hands all the way down, frame your foot, and then step yourself back to downward facing dog. Full breath in, and then let a sigh breath out. Left leg sweeps high behind you. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Shift forward and rock forward, and then flicker step the left foot through. Ground and root into your back heel. Take as much time as you need to lift your torso up. That inhale breath will help you find length, arms sweeping. Guide your hands onto your hips. Find those prominent hip bones. Lean into the left leg. Get engaged through the left leg. Step into it when you're ready. Even drag the right toes forward. Feel a little weight through the back foot. Hinge forward, breathe in. Keep a micro bend through the left leg. Lift your torso back up, breathe out. Even if you need to hold onto a wall, like a teeter-totter, hinge forward, lift back out. Move on your own pace. You're activating your left glute, your left bum, squeezing it. Maybe going, encouraging yourself a little deeper each time. And you hinge forward, right toes reach back, land them back, returning to your warrior one. Straighten your left leg without locking the knee. Open up your back right toes. The right foot, the razor edge of your foot is parallel to the razor edge of your mat. Arms sweeping overhead, find that beach ball. Then move into the left hip crease, reach for your fingertips, reach forward. You're feeling how the side bodies aren't collapsing, we're lifting and lengthening. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge forward, move a little deeper. Left hand onto the shin. Right hand to the sky, lift your gaze. Trikonasana, triangle. The torso lifts back up. Lunge into the left leg. If you feel like your knee could pass your ankle, take a bit of a longer stance. Arms in line with the earth, breathe in. Sweep your arms up overhead. Hold onto your beach ball and start to circle it around. I always like this movement. Feels really good for the ribs. Good on the spine. Helps to open up the entire abdomen. Circle the opposite direction. As you do this, you notice what big breaths feel like. Back up to center. Arms release in line with the earth. Reach through your fingertips. And then cartwheel your hands down, frame your foot. Step back to downward dog. Inhale to a plank position. Knees can soften down to the earth, come down onto your belly with control. Pause once you're on your belly. Let's stack the hands under the face and rest a cheek just for a moment. Release the back body, rock your hips side to side. And simply notice your heart rate. Maybe even taking a moment of comfort here as you lie on your mat, and letting even moments of comfort be a win. If your balance was off today, that's not a bad thing. It's not right or wrong. Because know that you've done something to try and bring yourself back into balance. And that's a win. Switch your cheeks and take 3 more breaths. Chin to center. Slide the hands under your shoulders and press yourself into tabletop. You might need to adjust your hands back or your knees forward. Inhale, right leg lifts behind you. Left hand sweeps forward. Bring a bit more engagement to this. Imagine with your left toes flipped, one day being able to lift off your left knee. So pressing down, imagine getting lighter through the left knee as it's on your mat. Maybe you can lift off the left knee. Lower your hand, release the legs, switch sides. Left leg back, right arm forward. Do you even feel a little more stable in this position since you started your practice? Again, then a bit more engagement. Imagine getting lighter through the right knee. Try to imagine lifting it up. Take hand and foot down. Roll through 3 cat-cows. Soften that. Drop your belly, lift your heart. Chin to chest. Exhale, empty out. Heavy through your head. Inhale, come back forward. Front body opening. Exhale to round. One more fluid like that. Neutral spine. Lift your hips, downward dog. Sway your hips from side to side. Come high to your toes, look forward, bend your knees, and then step, walk, or hop to the top of your space. Come right down onto your bum. It doesn't have to be really graceful. Take a sip of water if you need some water. And then from your seated position, keep the right leg drawn in, left leg stretches out. So the right foot's planted. You can hug onto your shin to help draw yourself forward, lifting up. Then flex your left toes back towards your face. Crown of the head reaches. Right fingertips touch back behind you. And imagine like an elevator from the base of your pelvis moving up, lengthening up through that elevator as you slowly rotate back. And the option to take your gaze past the shoulder. Try to have little weight through the right fingertips. We've got the right knee in. Good. Right fingertips back. 3 more breaths. Your gaze comes forward first, and then the elevator goes back down. Slowly release from the twist. Switching your legs, stretch the right leg out, hugging left in. Hands around the shin to help encourage yourself forward. Drive into the right heel, pull the toes back to your face. Left fingertips reach back. Lengthen spine up, find your twist. The opposite direction. We're light into the left hand, even light through the right. We're not using a ton of muscular force to move into the twist. Unwind the spine, look to the top of your mat. Everything else slowly follows. Bend both of your knees and take your time to come onto your back. Heel toe the feet out a little wider than hips distance. Sway your knees side to side. If you feel like there's a good opening through the hips as you do this, maybe try doing it a little bit slower, even with the pause, the knees dropping each direction. Knees come back to center. Heel toe the feet in towards one another so the balls of the feet come to touch. You can splay the knees out to open. Let's rest the hands somewhere on the abdomen. Taking this gentle opening through the hips, and if it does start to feel like it's maybe too much of a sensation, try to hold for maybe 5 to 10 breaths, but if it becomes too much, the knees can come back in towards one another. And really feel the breath into your palms. Encouraging the breath to create some ease for any areas in the body where you might still be experiencing a little bit of gripping or tension. Encourage the breath to travel into those spaces to soften. Thinking about even just the body being under an extreme type of foreign stress right now. This will take a toll in its own way. So if you can experience just a couple moments where you detach and let go, this is extremely beneficial for your body. Take that as a huge win. That you're not allowing yourself to rest in a space of anxiety and tension all day. You're giving yourself a break. Carefully bring your knees back in towards one another if they're still open. Take any final movement that supports you to complete the practice. When you're ready, come into Shavasana, our final pose. Legs stretched out, arms stretched out. Maybe any of those items you need to stay warm, a sweater, a final sip of water. Legs to the outer edges of your mat, arms away from the body with palms facing up. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Rest without any effort. And trust that my voice will guide you back. Start to deepen your breath. As a gentle offering to come back into the body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And perhaps flutter through the eyes. Rolling out the wrists, and then in your own time, bend your knees, hug them in towards your chest. Roll onto your right or left side using your arm as a pillow and holding yourself in that fetal position for a moment. With gratitude, thank yourself for the commitment to be here today, for doing your absolute best, and for trying to bring some balance and stability, not just into the body, but into the mind. Just even to know that that quality rests within us, even through some of this chaos. Let's meet in a seated position to seal the practice. Legs crossed, sitting with a sense of a tension in your spine, sit tall. Take your hands to heart center, press the palms together. Full breath in and full breath out. The highest in me bows to and recognizes the highest and the best within each of you. Namaste.